I know that's an uncomfortable title. Is your wife considering having a sex-driven affair? I was listening to a podcast. The guest was Susan Shapiro, and she has done research into women and affairs, and she broke it down into 4 types, one being a sex-driven affair. This is either in married heterosexual couples or long-term monogamous relationships. And the women who had sex-driven affairs reported they were happy with all other aspects of the relationship, but the sex was unfulfilling or bad. And now again, I'm not blaming men or giving the women an out for the affair. In fact, she kind of was a little too positive or favoritive of the women from an accountability standpoint. But in these sex-driven affairs, all they're looking for is hot, passionate sex because they're not getting that from their partner. Now, if you've been following my other videos on sexless marriages, you know that men and women complain at the same rate about lack of sex in a relationship. So my question is, are you prioritizing your partner's pleasure? They talked about the orgasm gap. Men orgasm 95% of the time, women 50 to 2/3 of the time, okay? Many said that they had asked their husbands to be more playful, to be more experimental, and for more sex. The women have asked, and they never got that from their husbands. And then at a certain point, they decided to go out and take care of this need themselves. But they had no desire to leave the relationship and actually loved the man, cared for him. So the question is your behaviors putting your marriage at risk for your wife or partner to have a sex-driven affair? Are you introducing variety? Are you focusing on her pleasure? And again, when I talk about this, I'm not saying at your expense, but it's something when we've got somebody who's been doing some research for a couple of decades now and is finding this pattern. You have to make sure you're not contributing to the situation that causes her to go outside of the marriage, okay? Again, this is something we help men with all the time. We normally work on the sexless marriage when it's the wife and there's no sex, but it goes the other way. And again, none of us have received adequate sex education. None of us, as a general rule, are comfortable talking about it. So if you're having issues or concerns, reach out. Send me a DM. You can find me at mentoringmen.com or manoflegacy.org. Have a great weekend.